very simple. You all would have heard it at some point or the other. It's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the best way for you to feel that you're being engaged is actually to be able to chant it. So don't feel shy or don't feel that you should just hear. You should participate, because when you participate, then the full effect of the mantra is there. If you just hear and you don't sing, then what happens is the chances of you becoming distracted is always there. So try to chant. I will chant first, you hear, and then after that you chant, I will hear, and that way it will be very nice. Okay, let's do that. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki, Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki, Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar ji ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. So you're very soft now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think you can be a bit louder. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Hari Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Jagannath. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Mahayajna ki Hare Krishna Mahamantra Yuga Dharma ki Jai Shri Yashoda Mata ki Jai Shri Damodar ji ki Jai Shri Kartik Maas ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
One quick minute to introduce Prabhuji. He is our gitareadingsociety president. Most of us who are coming for weekly classes here are familiar that we have 13th of Road Center. Prabhuji is a lawyer by profession, but he is mentor figure for us in terms of understanding the in a simple way, the rules and his schedule is very, very busy, and Prabhuji, we welcome on behalf of everyone to you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mataji. And thank you very much to you also, Prabhu. And thank you to all of you for coming together. Not easy to come together on the first day of a week, right? Saturdays, Sundays are so much more easier. But Mondays, everybody goes back to school. I'm so happy to see so many young children here. Look at this Yogi Sham. Sham, you're playing kirtans very well. And I see a few other yogis, very young yogis here. It's always a challenge for children to be quiet and still. So don't worry about them if they start moving around. But if they hear carefully, they will love this pastime of Krishna. The reason why we come together is because during the Kartik Mass, all the devotees around the world of Krishna, we always remember one particular Leela of Krishna. And that Leela is known as the Damodar Leela. Krishna in this month is known specifically by his name Damodara. One whose belly is actually tied by the ropes. And who is it who tied him? Famously was his mother, Mother Yashoda. So today, traditionally, and every day from the first day of Kartik Mass till the end of Kartik Mass, which is coming up on the 15th, we all traditionally light lamps. And we light these ghee lamps and we offer them to the Lord. And these ghee lamps have so much of deep symbolism, because when you light a lamp in the house, whatever darkness there is in the house, it dissipates. In the same way, if you actually open your heart to knowledge, which is spiritual, and we come to understand what is the true purpose of our life and our existence, then life assumes a different meaning. You know, when you enter a house and it's dark, you can see bits and pieces of the house, but you're not sure how the house really is. But when you turn on the lights or you light up the house, the immediate understanding is you come to understand what is the true nature of the house in which you live. So lighting a lamp for the Lord is very symbolic in this month, because very often we live in the world in such a way that we are not really conscious of what is the purpose of our life. We have just, started our life, and very often we think life has to just go through a certain way. We get married, we have children, or we are students, and then eventually we get married, we have children, we get older, we have grandchildren, we work hard, we save money, and eventually we fall sick and we die. And therefore, very often, we can pass through the entire cycle of life, not even thinking for a while, is this all life is about? Or is there something more to it? The Shastras tell us that animals eat, sleep, they mate, and they defend. That is the 4 characteristics of animals. All animals will do that without exception. The Shastras also remind us that all humanity does that too. We eat, we sleep, we reproduce, and we defend. So if you look at the 4 things that we do and the 4 things that animals do, factually speaking, there is no difference. The only difference is we appear to be more sophisticated in the way we discharge these functions. That's all. You sleep on the bed, the animal will probably sleep on the floor. Nowadays, actually, animals got better facilities than men, actually, and humans. Have you noticed all the spas and the hotels and the manicures and pedicures that dogs are going through? So it's amazing. But the fact is, Bhagavatam tells us, and this is a harsh fact, until you realize what is the true purpose of life, until you start that journey of inquiry, we actually no better off than 2-legged animals. That is the truth. And if we don't understand the value of human life, the chances are we will not come back in this world with a human birth. If you display animalistic tendencies in your life and you cannot curb and control your senses throughout your lifetime, then Krishna will give you a body in the next life, which will be perfectly suited and constituted to your disposition. This is the law of karma, and no one can escape that. So to get the human form of birth is considered to be very rare. It's known as sudurlabha durlabham. It is actually very difficult to achieve, even amongst all difficulties. And yet we have the human form of life now. So why should we waste it? So in this month, we remember a beautiful pastime, a leela that Krishna performed with his mother, Mother Yashoda. And in this leela, we will come to understand what is the true purpose of our life. In this leela, we will also come to understand that the nature of God, Krishna, the nature of God, is actually to protect us. Very often we are always thinking that God is our protector, and that is the reason why we always pray to God. Isn't it true? In all difficult times, it is very natural for us to pray to God. When your children are sick or when times are difficult, the immediate reaction for us is we turn to God. We turn to Krishna. We pray to Him. Because we all understand that He is our protector. It's very important. But what we don't realize is Krishna just doesn't protect our body. Not only does He protect our health, but deeper than that, Krishna helps to protect our consciousness. That is the true essence of protection. If we understand that we are eternally related to Krishna, and that we always want to serve Krishna, and that our goal of life is actually to become what we call servitors of the Lord, to be eternally connected to Krishna, then Krishna will help us to protect that consciousness. How does He protect the consciousness? Krishna's name is Rishikesha. Rishikesha means one who masters the senses. And we are actually part and parcel of Krishna. And we have the mind and the senses. So, Rishikena Rishikesha. If we can engage our senses in the service of one who is the Lord of all the senses, then that service is known as bhakti. That is the meaning of bhakti. So Mother Yashoda was the perfect mother. And in Vrindavan, she actually worshipped the Lord as a mother. For her, she saw Krishna as her child. And therefore she was very, very happy to just serve Krishna as a child. She could not even understand in her heart that Krishna was actually God. Why? Because Krishna was very special in Vrindavan. All the great devotees who came to Vrindavan, they all came there with the sole purpose of having Krishna in the center of their lives. So to all the residents of Vrindavan and even to Mother Yashoda, Krishna was just a little boy, and he was the object of their love. Everything they did revolved around Krishna. It's not very difficult to understand that concept even in the material world. If you have the object of your love as your child, your whole day is planned around your child, isn't it? What time to send him, what time to pick him, what time to feed him, what time to do this and do that. You will plan your whole life. You may want to go out and do something, but you can't, because why? You have to do something for him. And he becomes the object of your life, or she becomes the object of your love. So therefore, Krishna was the object of Mother Yashoda's love. So the question then you may ask, if he's a child and she's the mother, mother would be protecting the child, isn't it? How can the child be protecting the mother? So understand this pastime, and by the end of it, you will realize that it is Krishna who's protecting his mother and not the other way around. In the morning of Diwali, Mother Yashoda woke up and she dressed herself very beautifully in a saffron color, yellow color sari. Bhagavatam and our scriptures, they are very personal. They never just tell you, very brief descriptions of Mother Yashoda. They are so personal and so accurate, they can actually come down to the point of what sari she was wearing on the day of the Leela. She had put on malati flowers. They even tell you the flowers that she put on. And after dressing up very nicely and presenting herself very favorably, she came out. She saw that all her maidservants, she had many maidservants in the house, they were all engaged in so many duties for Diwali. But then she thought to herself, my first duty for my beloved Krishna is to churn butter for him. Why? Because first of all, Krishna was asleep. When your child is asleep, it's a good time to get the housework done. Am I right? It's normally the best time, right? Either if they are very occupied or they are knocked out. That's the best time. So Mother Yashoda thought Krishna is knocked out. He's sleeping. But she also knew that Krishna is very mischievous, because Krishna would steal butter from everybody's house, and he would even steal butter from his own house. He would never ask anyone for permission to take butter. But what Mother Yashoda did not realize was, Krishna is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. God doesn't need to take permission from anyone to take anything, because everything belongs to him. But she could not understand that. She thought he was a small boy. So Mother Yashoda decided, let me churn butter for him. Because Diwali morning, he would definitely ask for butter. And he loved butter. So I would make the best butter for him. And Mother Yashoda had 900,000 cows. And of that, she would choose the best of the cows. And she would feed them the best of the grass. And they would produce the best of the milk. And she took the milk and put it in the pot. And she churned and churned and churned. Mind you, churning was laborious activity. But Mother Yashoda did not mind. Why? Because it was done on the basis of love. Mothers, you have worked so hard for your children. And very often only you know how much challenges you face and how much you have to perspire and exert yourself just to take care of the children. Fathers too. So we understand this, you see, from a parent's perspective. But we never feel the pain of it. Even if it's very laborious, because of love for the children, we are capable of doing it. And we don't mind doing it weekly, week in, week out, week in, week out. For example, if you're sick today and you're very drowsy, you can't get out of bed, you're not going to tell your child, today you have to fast because I am very sick. You won't do it. Despite all the difficulty, you will drag yourself out of bed, do something for the child, and then you will go off to sleep. Isn't it true? So Mother Yashoda had that love for Krishna. And so she was churning, but her mind was concentrated on Krishna. And therefore our sastras say she attained a state which only the highest yogis can attain when they are performing great austerity and penance. Mother Yashoda was actually in samadhi even while she was performing the churning of butter. This is a very practical point for us. Arjuna fought for Krishna, and therefore when he was on the field, the battlefield, he was actually in a state of samadhi. People have this general notion that you attain samadhi when you die. But Bhagavad Gita and Shastras tell us samadhi is a state of consciousness, not a state of unconsciousness. And therefore, when you're alive, it is very possible to be in a state of samadhi. It means your senses are perfectly engaged in Krishna consciousness. Right now, if everyone's listening very carefully, you will also be in a state of samadhi, because you are oblivious to your material surroundings and you are very attentive to hearing. All your senses are engaged. Even the children are very attentive. So samadhi is nothing very fancy. It can be a daily activity which is entirely spiritual. And Mother Yashoda did that. And then Krishna woke up because he was very pleased. Now Krishna appeared like he was sleeping, but God never sleeps. And therefore he was totally conscious of Mother Yashoda's hard work. And so what did he want to do? He wanted to protect her consciousness further. See, when Krishna sees that you are working very hard to serve him, Krishna will then endeavor to protect that same consciousness that you now have in other activities also. This we often miss. And so Krishna came out like a little boy But he indicated to Mother Yashoda, I want to take some milk. So Mother Yashoda stopped the churning immediately, because now the object of her love wanted milk, not butter. This is the mood of a devotee. A devotee doesn't get stuck. Oh, I'm performing this service. If Krishna appears before me, Krishna, wait, I have to still perform the service. Krishna is in front of you. So therefore, Mother Yashoda took Krishna, put her on the lap, right? Put him on the lap, and started feeding him milk. And Mother Yashoda became very blissful feeding Krishna milk. And just by feeding Krishna milk, Mother Yashoda did not realize that Krishna was actually protecting her consciousness, because he was engaging her in another activity for Krishna. Okay, before I continue, this movement will be very distracting. So everyone move forward and then sit down. And if anybody else comes, don't worry, just sit at the back. You should be fine. Because what I realize about the nature of the mind is, the moment someone stands up, everybody is disturbed. And the moment someone sits down, everybody is distracted. It's difficult to be a yogi in Kali Yuga. You have to just become still. All right? Everybody settled? Good. So Mother Yashoda then decided that she would feed Krishna, and she was very happy. And Krishna was also very happy. But Mother Yashoda realized that she had put a pot of milk on the stove. And she could hear that the pot of milk was boiling, and very soon the milk would just spill over. Now that milk was meant for Krishna. So Mother Yashoda wanted to protect the milk for Krishna. So what did she do? She thought, let me put Krishna down for a little while, just in a while. And then I will go and pick up the milk and I will save it. In that way I will protect it for Krishna. Now she did not realize that Krishna had not fully fed. And therefore he would be a very grouchy baby if you put him down. But she thought, let me take a chance. She rushed to the kitchen. But Krishna, when he was put down, he became very upset, like a little child. He thought, why does Mother Yashoda have to put me down? She should feed me. What's wrong if she doesn't save the milk? It's all right. She should have fed me. So I should therefore punish her for putting me down. So Mother Yashoda did not realize, but Krishna decided to punish her for saving the milk. So Krishna took a stone and he broke the pot that she was lovingly making butter in, and all the butter came out. Actually, Shastras tell us Krishna's breaking of the pot is not a very mischievous act. Don't forget, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Bhagavan Swayam. And therefore, he is capable of taking anything he wants, whenever he wants. If Krishna wants to take us today, who can stop him? If Krishna wants to protect us today, who can take us? This we must understand. So Krishna actually protected Mother Yashoda's consciousness by first of all allowing her to enter the kitchen and save the pot of milk, because that was her service. But he also wanted to heighten her remembrance of him. And so what he did was, he broke the pot and all the butter came out, and he became very happy because he also loved butter. So he took butter, but then he realized when Mother Yashoda comes out and sees this mess, she's going to get very upset. I'm sure, children, when your mother sees you making a mess in the house, mother doesn't come and say you're a good child, isn't it? No, mother gets very upset. So Krishna decided, better I run away before Mother Yashoda sees what I've done. And so he ran away. Mother Yashoda comes out of the kitchen and she's shocked. Krishna is not there. And she thinks, what has Krishna done? And then she sees all the butter on the floor. And she was smiling to herself. I don't think your mothers will smile, but Krishna's mother was smiling. And she was thinking, what an intelligent boy this Krishna is. He's so intelligent, he knows if he stays here, he will get definitely a good scolding. So he has run. But Mother Yashoda was worried at the same time, because Krishna was stealing from everybody's house. And she thought, at this rate, Krishna will become professional thief. And if he becomes a thief, then what kind of a mother am I? What she didn't realize was, yes, Krishna was going to every neighbor's house, but he was not going there just to steal butter. When he stole butter, all the residents in the house became very happy that he stole butter. Outwardly, they would say, Krishna is a thief. They would complain to Mother Yashoda. But in their heart, the next day they would pray, Krishna, please come and steal butter. Because they all wanted to feed Krishna. And by stealing butter, Krishna protected their consciousness. Do you see the point? Because Krishna was reciprocating with them. Their desire was for Krishna to take butter. Whatever way he wants to, let him take butter. And how did Krishna protect that desire? By coming to steal the butter. You see? So Krishna appeared like a little boy, but he was protecting the consciousness of everyone. Why was he protecting their consciousness? So that they could continue to remember Krishna. That is the purpose of life. To live your life in such a way that the time you spend remembering Krishna, whether consciously or subconsciously, whether at work or directly in prayer, that is the key. The longer you are conscious of Krishna, the more peaceful and more manageable is your life. This is the verdict of the Shastras. And so Mother Yashoda decided, let me take a stick, and today I'm going to find Krishna. And when he sees the stick, he will behave himself. So Mother Yashoda followed Krishna's footsteps. How come Krishna's footsteps could be followed? Because he had stepped on butter, and therefore there were butter prints all over. And Krishna led her in through the footprints to the end of the house where there was a large storeroom. It was bigger than this hall, and the ceiling was higher. And on the ceiling were all the pots of butter. They were all hanging. Why were they hanging? So that Krishna was too short, he would never get to them. This was the way Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj managed their house. Everything should be what we call child-proof, right? So everything was high. But to her surprise, she saw that Krishna had actually got a mota. You see the deity here, Murti, on the left? Krishna standing next to a mota. He was standing on the mota, and he was tiptoeing, and he had a stick in his hand, and he was breaking every pot of butter. Some pots were dropping, some pots were overflowing with butter. And when Mother Yashoda saw that, she thought, my God, Krishna is really naughty. But then she saw something else. She saw that there were monkeys around Krishna, and they were his best friends. Every day Krishna would go to the forest to take care of the calves. And his two best friends who would follow him were all the boys known as the Gopas and all the monkeys. And the monkeys and the boys, they were equally mischievous, and they would all play with Krishna. So today she saw that Krishna was very generous. He was stealing, but after that he was generously feeding all the monkeys. Have you heard of how thieves honestly divide stolen property? This was the situation. It was all stolen, but he was dividing very nicely. But actually, if you think deeper, nothing can be stolen for Krishna. We are the ones stealing from Krishna. When we take a book, we think it's my book. When we buy a car, we think it's my car. When we have a toy, we think it's my toy. But everything is coming from Krishna. We forget. So actually Krishna was not stealing, he was giving. But what Mother Yashoda did not understand is that these monkeys were not ordinary animals. In their past life, they were in Ram Leela. They were the Vanaras who actually fought on the side of Lord Ram to conquer Ravana and Lanka, and to kill Ravana and free Mother Sita. At the end of that Leela, Lord Ram was so pleased with the monkeys that he said, ask from me anything you want and I will give it to you. And they said, oh Lord, we want nothing material from this world. Why should we ask for anything? We only ask for one thing. You please protect our consciousness in such a way that in the next time you come to this world, we come back to serve you. You see the point of protection? The desire of the monkeys was to always remain conscious of Krishna. And therefore Lord Ram said, so be it. This was Treta Yuga. And in Dwapara Yuga, millions of years later, Lord Ram would come as Krishna in Vrindavan. But he never forgot his promise. His promise is to protect his devotees. And therefore he protected his devotees' consciousness by allowing all the Vanaras in Ram Leela to come back in Krishna Leela in Vrindavan as monkeys to participate in this pastime. And in this pastime, when he fed the monkeys and they fed him, he fulfilled their promise. See how powerful is Krishna's protection. So Krishna protected the consciousness of Mother Yashoda in the morning to remember him. Then he protected the consciousness of the monkeys to continue the service and the promise he made to them. But when the monkeys were very satisfied after eating butter, they saw Mother Yashoda standing at the corner watching. Mother Yashoda they loved, But the stick that she was carrying, no, they did not like that. So what did they do? They quickly ran away. Monkeys can disappear very quickly, right? Children also can disappear very quickly. And monkeys are like that too. Only person left was Krishna. And Krishna's back was to the door. But when he saw all his friends leaving, he knew there must be somebody there that they are very afraid of. Krishna turned. When he saw Mother Yashoda, he was very happy. Because Mother Yashoda is the object of Krishna's love. But when he saw the stick with Mother Yashoda, that was not very loving. And he thought, now I'm really in trouble. Now most children, if you see your mother with a stick, you will start saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Right? Or no? Okay, good, right, yes. But Krishna was different. He thought, I'm already in trouble, I better run away. He jumped off the motor and he started running from his mother. Mother Yashoda thought Krishna will run to me and say sorry. Krishna ran away from Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda thought, I better catch him. But she thought Krishna is very small. You see, all of you, you're very small. I don't mean you're small, you're quite tall, but you're small. So Mother Yashoda thought it's easy to catch Krishna. So she ran after him. Just when she was going to catch him, Krishna was 1 meter away. Just when she was going to catch his dhoti, he was 2 meters away. And Mother Yashoda became tired. She was not a sprinter. She wasn't jogging daily in Vrindavan as exercise. She was a little bit on the heavy side now. And she thought, in 2 minutes I'll catch this child. But she was running. Bhagavatam says she spent 2 hours trying to catch Krishna. You try doing that, you will faint. And Mother Yashoda then finally surrendered to Krishna. How did she surrender to Krishna? She said, Krishna, you please stop. I need to catch you. When Krishna heard Mother Yashoda's love for him and the fact that she was so humble and that she had surrendered. In Sastra, surrender means sharanam. Right? Sharanam means to surrender. Sharanagati means the object of your surrender. So Krishna is the object of surrender of all devotees. And even for Mother Yashoda. Even though she was a mother, with no pride in her heart, she surrendered to Krishna because she wanted to serve him. To serve him means I have to discipline him. To discipline means I have to catch him. So Krishna, please stop, so I can catch you. When Krishna heard the humility in Mother Yashoda's heart and her speech, he surrendered to her. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, to whom everyone is surrendering, surrendered to his ordinary mother. And by surrendering himself to Mother Yashoda, he protected her consciousness. Because now she was completely focused on Krishna. And Mother Yashoda became very heartbroken. Why? Because Krishna was crying. He was very scared of the stick. So his body was shivering and the jewelry was shivering. See, children, I don't see so much jewelry on you. You have to talk to your mothers about that. But apart from that, Krishna, every morning, Mother Yashoda would put so much of jewelry on him. He was like a walking jewelry shop. Everywhere he went, everyone knew Krishna is coming. Because there would be a jewelry shaking. So when he was crying, he was also shaking. And all the jewelry was shaking. Bhagavatam tells us that he wore earrings which were the shape of shark. Shark-shaped earrings. That's how detailed Bhagavatam is. And Krishna was crying. And in the morning, Mother Yashoda would put the ointment, mascara, kajal. She would put it for Krishna. But because he was crying, all the ointment was flowing. And Mother Yashoda became so sad. She was very absorbed in Krishna, but she became very sad. She thought, this poor Krishna, he's too much afraid of me. So now I'm going to put the stick down. And Mother Yashoda put the stick down, and she thought now Krishna will become a little bit happier. But she thought, I can't let Krishna just go. Because if I let him go now, he will run around again. And I have work on Diwali day. Imagine, morning she woke up and she did so much work for Krishna. Then 2 hours running marathon for Krishna. And it was Diwali day. She hasn't done anything. You imagine as mothers, how will you feel? You'd hit the roof. So she thought, Krishna, stand still next to the motor. I'm going to tie you now. And she thought, let me tie Krishna. Children, anybody been tied here by your mothers? Not yet, huh? Okay, not yet. Maybe after this pastime, your mothers will have some solutions to difficult children. So Krishna stood there, very obediently. Mother Yashoda got the rope. She brought the rope around Krishna, but it was 2 inches short. She brought more rope around him. It was still 2 inches short. She brought all the rope in the house. It was 2 inches short. She went to the next door neighbor and said, can you give me some rope? Neighbor, the gopi said, why you want rope? I'm trying to tie Krishna. You have so much rope in the house. Yes, but it is still 2 inches short. Then the gopi said, can I come and watch? If I give you the rope, can I come? Because everybody was so absorbed in Krishna. They were always conscious of Krishna. So a whole group of neighbors came and they were watching Mother Yashoda perspiring for the 3rd time in the day. Now she can't tie Krishna. And finally she said to Krishna, Krishna, I can't tie you. Can you just allow yourself to be tied? And then I'll be very happy. And when Krishna heard his mother's cry, his mother's sharanam, he decided, let me reciprocate with my mother. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who cannot be chased by yogis and siddhis and demons, the great Supreme Personality of Godhead, who cannot be tied by anything material in this world. Demons are trying to catch Krishna, but they are failing. Duryodhan and gang were trying to outsmart Krishna, but they failed. Great powerful sages are trying for hundreds of years to capture Krishna, but they cannot. And yet Krishna decided, let me now surrender to my mother. What was different between Yashoda Mata and all those other great sages? Because all the others, they were chasing after Krishna for some material motive. Give me some siddhi, give me something. But Mother Yashoda was not asking for anything. Her consciousness is considered to be pure bhakti. And in pure bhakti, you become completely happy, peaceful and satisfied. If you mix your bhakti with anything material, Krishna will give you that. He'll give you your house, your car, your husband and your wife. But they themselves are not guarantees of your happiness. Isn't it true? If you have a new car, for a while you're happy. Until your neighbor buys a new car. Then you start thinking, okay, my car's a bit old. Right? You think you've got the best looking sari. Until your neighbor comes for a wedding and you realize, my God, I look very cheap. And you complain to someone. So like that in this material world, what we get from Krishna, if it's material, he will give. But it will bind you. Karma bandhanaha. It will bind you to the world. But Mother Yashoda did not ask for anything material. She only wanted to serve Krishna. She thought, let me serve Krishna and tie him because it's for his good. Doesn't help me at all. You know. And in that mood, Mother Yashoda surrendered. And in that mood, Krishna surrendered. Not only did Krishna surrender, but he protected her consciousness. How? By absorbing her further in her service to him. Do you see how God protects our consciousness when we want to render service for him? Your ichcha. You know, in Sanskrit we have this word ichcha. Ichcha means desire, isn't it? Everybody has free will. Everybody has free desire. Isn't it true that Prabhu and Mataji invited all of you? But it's up to you finally whether you want to come. Isn't it? Your free will. You exercised it. You could easily have said, Monday night, why should I come? You know, but I'm sure they would have told you, prasadam is available. You thought, never mind, let me come then. But you came. You exercised your free will and that's why you're here. So everyone has ichcha. Mother Yashoda exercised her free will to serve Krishna. And Krishna exercised his supreme will to serve Mother Yashoda. And in doing so, he protected her. And the pastime ends. And Mother Yashoda became very happy. These 2 inches of the rope are very important to us. The first inch represents the endeavor of a sincere devotee. Always remember, bhakti, like anything precious in this world, requires your endeavor. You cannot ask someone, you do all the service and I will get all the good karma. Or I will get all the returns. Actually, service has no karma. You are free of karma. You have to work hard for Krishna. If you are sick, you are tired, but you have a service, do it for Krishna. And you will feel blissful. It doesn't matter. Our body will never be in good condition. Anyway, better it is not in good condition, but use it for Krishna. What is wrong? So Mother Yashoda did that. And the second inch of the rope represents the mercy of Krishna. If you endeavor sincerely to Krishna, Krishna's mercy is always there to protect your consciousness. And so the pastime ends. But there's one short pastime left. Krishna decides, my mother has tied me, but doesn't mean I cannot move. I can still move. And he started crawling to the end of the garden. And as he crawled, that mortar turned right? From vertical, it turned horizontal. And it started rolling with him. He came in between two beautiful trees in Vrindavan. They were growing in the courtyard for years. He went through it, but the mortar got stuck. But Krishna is very strong. He pushed a little hard, and the two trees fell. And in place of the two trees were two beautiful devatas. And Krishna said, "What are you two boys doing here as trees?" And they said, "We were once the great sons of Kuvera." You all know Kuvera, isn't it? He is the devata in charge of wealth. So because our father was so rich, we had nothing to do. And we became very proud. We didn't want to work. We were not gainfully employed. And we wasted our time in intoxication and pride. One day we were just bathing in the lake, and Narada, the great devotee of the Lord, passed by. Instead of coming out and praying and putting on clothes, we came out with no clothes, and we stood before him drunk. When Narada saw that these devatas who are devotees of the Lord are behaving this way, he became very compassionate, not angry, but compassionate. And so he told them, "I have a prayer. Since you two do not understand the human form of life, nor the value of life, I pray you will become trees." Because trees don't understand the value of life. And trees don't wear clothes, by the way. And since you fellows don't like to wear clothes, you too become trees. But I pray you will take birth as trees, and you will have remembrance of your previous life as devatas and how you wasted it. And I pray that one day Krishna himself will come and he will fulfill my desire, Narada's desire, that you too should be delivered by Krishna. And in so doing, Narada left. That was thousands of years ago in human calculation. 100 celestial years by Devata calculation. And so these trees, these boys, they waited 100 years. And in their hearts they repented. Why were we so intoxicated with pride? Why did we waste the human form of life? Because we should have used it for Krishna, but we didn't. And so 100 years later, when the time was right, Krishna brought them down by this Leela, and he delivered them. But he said one thing before the Leela ends. He says, "My dear boys, you have never prayed to me actually. You did not. And the truth of the matter is, you have nothing to do with me. But because my great devotee Narada prayed for you, and he prayed for your welfare, it is my duty to actually make sure that his promise to deliver you will never go in vain." So Krishna is a protector in this Leela also. He protected the promise of Narada. And he protected the consciousness of the devatas by making sure that they will come out of their tree consciousness and they will become devatas. And so the story ends. This is why for the whole month we remember this beautiful prayer of Damodara. You must always remember that no one can protect us like Krishna. How much we want to protect our children, isn't it? But we don't realize we are also in the net. If you are caught in the net, you want to protect your child. She's in the net, you are in the net. Your sense of protection is genuine, but the source of your protection is miscalculated. The source of everyone's protection is Krishna. And if we don't understand that point, then we have missed the whole point of human existence. So human existence is meant to first understand who we are. Who are we? We are all part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna can be our father. Krishna can be our friend. Krishna can be a child. Krishna can be our spiritual master. He can be our guide. But if you come under his protection, he will never fail you. We want to protect those whom we love, but we ourselves are fallible. So how much can we protect them? Let us then invest that they should also be protected by Krishna. This should be our prayer. Everyone all right with the story? Are there any questions? Children, any questions? I'm very, very, very pleased with the children today. I've gone for so many programs. Very often when I see more than 2 children, I know what's going to happen. It's going to be a riot. But today, the children, you have been amazing. I hope Mataji will feed you extra prasadam. Okay, you deserve it. You've all been very good. Some of you are really young. This girl is very young, seated on your lap. She's very good. And this little one is also very young, and she's very good also. Of course, the device helps, but apart from that, she's very, very yogic. All the way, she was very peaceful. And you girls here, you were very, very attentive. I think Krishna will protect you. And of course, there is the royalty Sham. Where's Sham? Sham, I didn't hear a single word from you. Amazing yogi. Look at him. He's very, very yogic. So please, take back this wonderful pastime. And now, to make sure that this pastime stays in our heart for our protection, we are going to chant Damodar Ashtakam. This Ashtakam is a beautiful prayer. Whatever we discuss today, the Ashtakam in Sanskrit actually describes it. So, Prabhu, how do we do this, Prabhu? Mataji, how do we do this? Okay. So, Prabhu and Mataji are going to organize this. And do they all have copies of the... very nice. You have hard copies of them. In today's day and age, it's very hard to see hard copies of anything. So, this is good.
So, while Prabhuji will be singing, because that is the glorification of what we just heard, we have the remix for everyone. We will just go side by side, wash the hands, water is there, and we will offer the lamp to the Lord. So, we will start with our singer Mangalam first, and slowly go.
So, just create some space so that you can actually come forward. Yeah, we can move this a bit. Srinivas, the rest of us can concentrate on the singing. Children, you can sing also. It's not very difficult to follow. Okay? Namamishwaram Sachidanandaru Lasat Kundalam Go Kule Brajamanam. Your turn. Ishwaram Sachidanandaru Lasat Kundalam Go Kule Brajamanam. Namamishwaram Sachidanandaru Lasat Kundalam Go Kule Brajamanam. Ishwaram Sachidanandaru Lasat Kundalam Go Kule Brajamanam. Yashoda Biyolu Kaladhavamanam Param Krishna Madhya Tato Drutya Gotya. Your turn. Yashoda Biyolu Kaladhavamanam Param Krishna Madhya Tato Drutya Gotya. Rudantam Murnetra Yumam Rijantam Karamboja Yugme Nasatanka Netram. Haribo. Dantam Murnijantam Karamboja Yugme Nasatanka Netram. Muhu Swasakampa Trireka Kakanta Skita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Bhadam Sakampa Trireka Kakanta Skita Graivam Damodaram Iti Drikswaliladi Kunde Swagosham Nimajan Tamakyapayantam Iti Drikswaliladi Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajan Tamakyapayantam Tadiyeshitaneshu Bhaktai Jitatam Puna Prematastam Satavritti Vande Shitaneshu Bhaktai Jitatam Puna Prematastam moksham na mokshavadim va nachanyam vrineham varisharabhiha param deva moksham mokshavadim va nachanyam vrineham varisharabhiha idam teva purnatha gopala balam sada me manasya virastam himanye vapurnatha gopala balam sada me manasya virastam himanye idam te mukham mojam adyantanilai vritam kuntalaisli darataischa bhogya Haribo te mukham bojam adyantanilai vritam kuntalaisli darataischa bhogya muhuschumbitam bimbarata garam me manasya virastam alam lakshalabe ratadaram me manasya virastam alam lakshalabe namo deva damodar ananta vishnu prasida prabodhu kajalabdi madhvam Haribo Nama Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabodha Kajalabdi Madhvam Kripa Drishti Vrishya Tidinam Vatanu Grahane Shamama Yamedakshi Drishaya Kripa Drishti Vrishya Tidinam Vatanu Grahane Shamama Yamedakshi Drishaya Kuveratmajau Padda Mutyaiva Yatva Vayamochitau Bhakti Bhajau Pitau Cha Kuveratmajau Mutyaiva Yatva Vayamochitau Bhakti Bhajau Pitau Cha Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swatam Me Prayacha Namokshe Graha Me Stidamodareha Jai Prema Bhakti Ki Namaste Sudhane Spuradipti Dhamne Tvadiyodaraya Tavishwasya Namaste Sudhane Spuradipti Dhamne Daraya Tavishwasya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalila Yadevaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalila Yadevaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalila Yadevaya Tubhyam Moradikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalila Yadevaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Yashoda Damodar, Yashoda Damodar, Yashoda Damodar, Yashoda Damodar. Jai Damodar Ji ki. Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Vrindavan Dham ki. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ji ki, Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki, Jai Shri La Prabhupada ki, Jai Shri La Gurudev ki, Ananta Kori Vaishnavrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Thank you very much, Prabhus and Matajis, for coming together, for lighting the lamps. Very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Very grateful for your association. I wish you all the best in your spiritual life. Take back this beautiful pastime of Krishna and be happy in remembering him, and give these pastimes to your children because they will be very happy to remember Krishna also. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, and thank you, Pamaradhika Mataji. Thank you so much for having us over.